It's not luxurious, but it feels like it's going to stand the test of time. In a world where it seems like a car isn't allowed to just merely be a car anymore, it has to be an extension of your lifestyle and your personality. This Peugeot Rifter feels like a breath of fresh air. It is unashamedly big and boxy, and it puts family-friendly practicality above all else. But is that reason enough to buy one? Well, I'll find out for you. But before that, subscribe to the Carbuyer YouTube channel, click on the bell icon so you get notifications every time a new video goes live, and if you like this video, then like it. Let's do it. One thing before we start, the Rifter, like its Citroen Berlingo and Vauxhall combo equivalents, is now electric only. But hold on, do not switch off yet, because there's still plenty to discuss and plenty to like about the e-Rifter. But just as we should on any car like this, shall we start with space? Space. You want space? I'll give you space. How's that for space? And this is the shorter wheelbase. This is the 5-seater version. If you go for the longer wheelbase, the 7-seat version, you've got an extra 350 millimetres of space to deal with. I mean, really, this is a van with windows. And a van, windows or no windows, is designed to carry stuff. So if you fold down the rear seats, you've got 3,000 litres of space to play with. Put this into context. Your standard family SUV, Nissan Qashqai for example, that has less than half of that, around 1,400 litres or so. This thing is huge. And then if you go for the one with the longer wheelbase, you've got an extra 500 litres to play with. Then when you've got the seats all back up, this 775 litres. And plus, no load lip. So when you've got a normal SUV, you have to kind of lug things over the top. Don't have to do that here, straight in. Nice big wide opening, nothing to get in your way. If you have an active lifestyle, or if you always have stuff, like my cameraman James, hey James. Hi. If you've always got stuff, or you're a cyclist or a surfer, this is the one. Okay, if I have one complaint, this tailgate is huge. So when you're parking in a tight parking space, you can't really open that up. Oh no, wait, what's that? You want to be able to open up the window separately, like a letterbox? Yeah, you can do that. So actually it's perfect for tight parking spaces. Another practical touch. Never underestimate the power of a sliding door. So good for tight parking spaces. Plus look at this. One big, nice, unobstructed space for you to throw in your kids, your dogs, your shopping, etc. Look, if you are looking to get a Rifter because you have kids, you'll be pleased to know there are 3 separate seats back here, so you could potentially get 3 separate child seats, which is really going to help out some people. But if you are just a real life human adult grown-up like I am, you'll be pleased to know there is plenty of room back here. Not just here, but if you go for the 7-seater, you can get adults back there as well. You can't say that in your Land Rover Discovery Sport Fancy Pants SUV. You can't. But if you do have kids, and you're worried that they're going to throw stuff all over the place, you'll be pleased to know storage is a dream back here. It's practically an aeroplane. There's stuff up on the ceiling where you can throw stuff, door bins, everything, so much storage. And there's a big old bin right in the front here, which I'm going to show you right now. Ta-da! Now, here is that dash bin I was talking about. So if you're the sort of person that just keeps lots of stuff in their car, you can chuck stuff in there, put stuff in there, you've got stuff down there, you've got, oh look, some down there, bit in there as well, in the door bins. You've actually got 180 litres of space just in cubbies. Bearing in mind, a Fiat 500, the whole entire boot is less than that. There are just 2 trims to choose from when you're picking your e-Rifter, and only one if you want the longer body style. None, at the time of filming, qualify for the government's plug-in car grant, but all, again, at the time of filming, come reasonably well equipped. Every model gets alloy wheels, tinted rear windows, all-round parking sensors, and a reversing camera. You'll need to step up to the GT, like we have here, for stuff like keyless entry and the silver scuff plates, but honestly, we wouldn't bother. Oh, and you can't if you want 7 seats. But the full rundown on trims and choices and standard equipment, etc. you'll find on carbuyer.co.uk. Now, as well as all of that stuff, every version of the e-Rifter comes with digital dials. Note how I said e-Rifter, because the old petrol and diesel versions only come with analog dials. But I think they look quite fancy, don't you? I mean, it's just been taken straight from the 3008. It's also got the iCockpit setup, which means that you look over the top of the steering wheel rather than through it, which does take a little bit of getting used to. I mean, this steering wheel for me is a bit lower than how I would normally have it, but it all comes down to your height and your body shape as to whether you're going to get along with it or not. Like, for example, Rich, my fellow Carbuyer presenter, who does still exist, by the way, you just haven't seen him for a while. He's 6 foot and he quite likes it. Now, you've also got this 8-inch touchscreen, which is standard on all EVs. It's got Apple CarPlay, it's got Android Auto, but very similar to other Peugeot setups. It's not the most intuitive, it's not the most responsive. It's a little bit laggy as well from time to time, but you will be pleased to know that the climate controls work very well. One thing I do like is the height of this centre console, because you just feel cocooned and everything feels tough and sturdy. I can't tell you why it feels tough and sturdy, it just does. I guess that's how you would explain the materials. It's not luxurious, but it feels like it's going to stand the test of time. Now that the Rifter is electric only, you'll need to think about range and charging rather than miles per gallon or where your nearest petrol station is. Every model comes with a 50 kilowatt-hour battery borrowed from the Peugeot e-208 that Peugeot says is good for up to 172 miles. In reality, that's a little bit ambitious. 140-ish is more realistic, and probably less if you're driving in colder temperatures or regularly loading it up with people or stuff. It'll charge back up at a 100 kilowatt rapid charger though, replenishing its range to 80% in around half an hour. Of course, being electric means the Rifter could be an incredibly wise company car choice. Rock bottom tax and the potential for seriously low running costs. If it fits your lifestyle, it's sensible in more ways than one. And that sensibility translates to the driving experience as well. I mean, it's no sports car, but you don't expect it to be. In all honesty, the e-Rifter's got a decent turn of pace thanks to the electric motor. 0 to 62 time is 11.2 seconds, so it's not quick off the mark like a, I don't know, Volkswagen ID4 for example, and it doesn't handle like one either. This is effectively a van, so steering is super light and it's a little bit top heavy. I mean, you're not really going to relish in driving it super quickly, so take it nice and easy and you're on to a winner, I'd say. The electric motor is quiet and smooth, and the fact that it's just one gear to get in and switch on and go makes everything nice and straightforward, doesn't it? I mean, thanks to the deep sidewalls as well and the small wheels, it helps make everything quite comfortable in here, and it doesn't rattle like you would expect a van to. You know, sometimes you sit in a van and it's all like jugga 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 jugga. There's none of that in here. Oh, visibility, wonderful. I mean, windows for days. Windows on windows on windows. So I feel like I can see everything. Parking is so easy. Manoeuvring into small, tight spaces, or if you're on a motorway, whipping into spaces quickly. So super easy. This is a seriously straightforward, simple car to drive. Practical through and through, and just completely fuss-free. Right, I think that's all the main points covered off. Shall we have some deal makers and deal breakers? Okay. There are no two ways about it. This is a van with windows, and as such is an incredibly practical vehicle. What's more, being electric, the Rifter could save you thousands on fuel costs alone, and that's before you look at the company car tax. That electric powertrain means it's dead easy to drive, and very comfortable too. On the flip side, it's just not that much fun. It can feel a bit wayward if you try to push on a bit. The steering is light and it's a bit top heavy. Finally, while the interior will likely stand up well to family life, it's not what you would call luxurious. You want a fancy interior and a posh badge? Look elsewhere. I think I'd be mean to say that the e-Rifter is a tool, like the automotive equivalent of a fridge freezer or a washing machine. There's a lot more to it than that. If you're after a car that prioritises space and practicality, and then you mix in a smooth, quiet driving experience and super low running costs, then well, I mean, it's not cool, it's not fancy, it's not going to win any drag races, but it's honest. I love that. If you like this video, then why not watch our review of the Citroen Space Tourer or our Family Cars playlist. Thanks for watching.